Hi, welcome to the Sonic Stadium's E3 2017 Impressions video. I'm Sven, and with me is Jason and Alex from our Sonic Stadium US team, and we've all had a little bit of a go on Sonic Mania, which is that game there. A little bit of a go. Yeah. So let's talk about the demo that was at E3 this year. So there were two zones.
Yeah, both of them technically new. We had Green Hill Act 2, and which is Mirage Saloon, which is a completely new level they have on display.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mirage Saloon, for anyone who probably hasn't seen the trailers or anything like that, is a brand new stage, completely like desert. It kind of has kind of remnants of Dust Hill Zone if we're kind of going back towards like canned Sonic 2 levels. So
quite a bit of a Western motif.
Yeah, Western motif with guns. Sonic having guns? What the hell? That's amazing.
Well, so cartoony guns.
Cartoony guns, yeah. Saloon guns or something. So yeah, who wants to start first? Like, what did you guys think of?
I had an absolute blast playing that level.
Yep.
I played as Knuckles in that one in particular. And it was just amazing, the little extra gadgets they put in there, like you step on a giant seltzer bottle and a spray of water would allow you to have a completely different path that you can zoom on real quick. There was also like the little you're spinning on the little saloon bars, just like the barrels, and I think, what was the zone that Sonic spins on barrels?
I think it was Sonic CD.
Yeah, it's Palm Tree Panic.
A couple of zones have
Palm Tree Panic.
Palm Tree Panic, but there's not seats, it's just little spinny things that kind of mess you up. But when I played that part of the demo as Sonic, I was going so fast, and when I hit the chairs, I was just like, I'm not sure what was going on, and it threw me back into the spikes that was positioned right next to them. So yeah, that was a little bit of a dangerous part there for me.
And in addition to the seltzer bottles, is also this gun. I think you can manually aim it, right?
Yeah, just a wide. Well, no, you don't manually aim it. It goes up and down on its own like that, and then you decide which way you fire.
Yeah, it's another way of travel for a Sonic game. Like if we go look back at Studiopolis, it's a bit like the popcorn machine where you kind of go in and it kind of shoots you up and stuff. It kind of works in a similar way. It kind of helps you traverse vertically, right? But you're kind of only like guaranteed to go in one particular direction based on the movement of the gun, right? So
yeah, but the interesting
kind of
thing
like Donkey Kong Country's barrels. Move up and down.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing about the seltzer bottles is that like they can actually like creates a temporary platform for you.
Well, that's what I was mentioning.
Which is like but now I messed up every single time I hit it. You know, like I was never able to.
Yeah, I
get
only have
all
like
the way through,
one or 2 seconds on that.
Yeah.
For the people who are like really good at these games, like they should be able to pull off some pretty cool some traversal tricks with that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I was really impressed with, and we can talk about this all day long, is just the new designs of the Badniks, the new Badniks. They had completely gazumped me throughout my entire playthrough because of their movements. But they looked so familiar. So you had these kind of eagle birds that looked a bit like the swooping birds in Launch Base in Sonic 3, but they kind of take a certain path all the time, but they only attack if you're nearby. So I wasn't quite prepared for how they were going to basically dive bomb me. So they were quite cool. And there were also these weird caterpillar things that were kind of curling around some of the poles.
You didn't know exactly how to approach him as far as hitting him.
Yeah, and I just stared at it for ages. I'm like, right, it's a bit like one of those caterpillar things that float around in Angel Island that have they're electric and stuff in Sonic 3, but I was just like, so it's one of those, is it? Only green? And I was like, so do I hit it on the head or something? And then by the time I was standing there trying to figure it out, it just kind of pounced and attacked me, and I was just like, I need to figure out a new strategy for these new Badniks. It's amazing.
The Badnik that made the biggest impression on me was like those red armadillo things that like chase you down.
Yeah, they're a throwback from Sonic 1, obviously, but they just don't stop. They don't stop until you actually hit them. So again, just a great way of bringing back like classic elements or things that you remember from past games, reinventing them in some way. To kind of surprise older players, but yeah, it's quite cool.
And really, like that kind of defines the whole game. Like it's what you're familiar with, but completely reinvents everything.
Yeah,
like Green Hill Act 2. There are a few places in that are familiar, but like most of the stage, like I don't even recognize it anymore. Like there's these new like little poles that you just grab onto, you can just swing down.
And those are reminiscent from Sonic 3 as
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
the
but
zip
like,
lines.
Yeah, but those zip lines. Oh, and I think they're also on hilltops, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
From Sonic 2, but like Green Hill like never had anything like that. It's just adds such a nice new flavor to this old stage that we've all played like 1,000 times.
Yeah, I guess word
That's a
would be
good
like
seek, actually.
familiar but fresh at the same time.
Yeah, that segues us really nicely into obviously Green Hill Zone Act 2, which was the other part of the demo. And yeah, I'm completely with you on that one. I just remember when they first started showing off some of the demos, some of the trailers for Green Hill Zone a couple of months ago, and I just remember seeing some of the gameplay, and I thought, okay, there are parts of this stage that I recognize from the original Mega Drive game, for Sonic 1, but there are obviously new areas where clearly, like, the developers have gone a different direction with it to try and remix it. And I kind of remember watching them months back and thinking to myself, like, that's going to feel a bit janky, right? That's going to feel really, really unnatural, because you go through like the log bridge with the spikes and stuff, and then you see into all these bits where there's like floating platforms and broken bits, and I thought this could be bad, like this could be a bit wonky, but I played through it and it didn't bother me at all. It felt completely natural, just going through all these remix bits and then going into the bits that were familiar as well. I think a lot of people talked about this already, but fire shields and electric shields back in Green Hill Zone as well.
Yeah,
and if you use the fire shield, you can run back through the log bridge that caused so many kids in 1991 so much pain, and you can burn the bridge down.
Oh, wow, you can do that?
You can do that with a
I
fire
actually
shield.
ran over the bridge with the fire
Wow,
shield and it was
I
burning
did not
behind
do
me.
that. The only thing I noticed about the fire shield is that has, when you do the double jump trick with it, like when you blast forward, it like has a much like bigger punch now. Like, you shoot forward faster.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can use it to smash through hidden walls as well. So it's kind of cool. I think that's one of the things that we might find throughout the entirety of Sonic Mania with the elemental shields, that they have other uses instead of just a double jump mechanic for Sonic. Like obviously in the old games, the electric shield drew rings towards you. I think we saw a trailer way back when for Flying Battery Zone where the fact that he was wearing, Sonic was wearing like an electric shield kind of allowed him to like magnetize to different parts of the level, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, I mean the demo also had Sonic, Tails and Knuckles available to play. So Jason, you mentioned you played Knuckles.
Sonic, and I played Knuckles in Mirage Saloon and Sonic in the Act 2. As far as Mirage Saloon, Knuckles gave me a little bit of advantage because there's areas where I stuck where I could just climb up and glide over and everything. It's also nice to see like the Team Hooligan kind of represented with the wanting posters of Mac Bean and Bark. As far as Sonic, I didn't get the chance to play as Tails at all. I did play Sonic through the Green Hill Zone. And
so how did they feel? How did Knuckles in particular feel for you? Like,
Alex said he feels a little different.
I think he feels a little different when you're gliding around.
I thought
like,
he felt exactly
when
the same
turn,
myself.
Like the way he turns, the physics just feels slightly different from the old game.
sure.
And like my online name is Knuckles87, so like I played
your
Knuckles
stuff.
a lot. And but it feels like you I don't even know if it's less tight when you turn with him, because it just feels slightly different. It's hard for me to peg down exactly what's different about it. Like maybe just the physics are slightly different, and I'm noticing it.
A little bit of je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Knuckles?
I didn't.
Good.
I didn't feel any difference as far as Knuckles goes. It just feels like classic Knuckles to me.
It's one thing that I think a lot of people pointed out is the difference in the animation. Like obviously, can we talk about the animations for a second? Because they are gorgeous for a start. But I think the only thing that people have kind of mentioned in some sort of negative fashion is like Knuckles' super run animation. Where there's two levels where you're doing the speedy bit, and then I think if you're playing as Sonic, like he has his arms out and does the Sonic CD thing. Knuckles' version of that, I think he kind of squats down and looks a bit squished. But it looks fine.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything weird.
Yeah. Alex, did you play as Tails at all? Or?
I did not. I thought Jason
Charlatans.
did.
Charlatans, a pair of you.
Well, look, Tails is objectively the worst of the three. So.
Whoa, okay.
I'm kidding.
We're just talking about Mania here, and now we're talking about characters.
Well, unfortunately, every time we play, we have to play once and then one level and then get back in line to play those levels. So
Well, I mean, I played as Tails, so at least I can tell you
So
about
how
what
does he feel?
feels great. I think Tails felt really good to play through, I think, various parts of Mirage Saloon, because there are certain areas in that level where there's, I don't know how you describe them, but they're not quite bumpers. They're sort of bumpers, but they disappear after you hit them. A little bit like the kind of eggs you find in, or whatever they're called, in Collision Chaos Zone in Sonic CD. So I found myself being able to use the Tails' fly ability to kind of bounce off and get extra height. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'm just like bouncing off of things, and then as I transition into a flight pattern, I'm hitting things, and I'm just getting more and more air.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, and I'm not even pressing the button to make Tails fly more. I'm just bouncing off of things, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. So there was a great flow to playing as Tails as well. So I think the only concern I might have, and maybe this is because it hasn't really been totally explored in the demos yet, is maybe the use of having the different characters and the multiple paths you can take as each character. It didn't feel like in Mirage Saloon in particular, or Green Hill Zone, that you could use Knuckles to create a path that Sonic or Tails couldn't access, and vice versa. You know, in Angel Island Zone in Sonic 3, like Knuckles could literally punch through a wall that Sonic could, or Tails could never hope to get through. I'd like to see more of that sort of thing in Sonic Mania, especially in some of the new levels. As you said, Jason, like there are elements playing as Knuckles where you could just climb up things and maybe get an easier headway that way. But I didn't see any obvious routes that seem to do that for me.
Yeah, I actually played Green Hill Zone Act 2 as both Sonic and Knuckles, and I basically kind of did the same thing both times, except with Knuckles I did a lot of gliding around, but like there was no, I didn't find any special paths for him or anything.
I'd like to play as Tails in the Green Hill Zone just to check out if I could defeat that boss enemy Lena easier, because that's a pretty cool enemy. The
Oh yeah, the boss.
the egg robo in that one.
Yes, so
He's a toughie. That
That
one.
killed me. I
yeah.
didn't beat it.
So the boss in Green Hill that is in the Sonic Mania demo for E3 2017 was basically the final boss in Sonic 2. So it's kind of like, well, that escalated quickly. It's like the very first level probably in Sonic Mania, and you get
There's like a dorkly video about that, where because Eggman shows up, the big Green Hill's done with his big old egg robot.
and the animations again for even Eggman is great. Like you see him in the Death Egg robot, and he's just like, you know, he's pulling the kind of cockpit over his head while he's trying to chase you. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that boss. It was one of those ones where it felt a little bit modern in some ways, like, you know, the modern bosses in like Sonic Advance 2, where you're just constantly running and stuff and having to do things while you're on the run. So that was kind of nice.
Did you beat the boss?
I did, but I think I died because I got distracted by someone that was at the booth. And I was like, oh, hi, and then
I didn't, and I died a couple different ways. The first way is like there's actually the path he chases you on eventually ends.
Oh.
See, that was the part I died just before that, but then I got curious because the road ended, and I was like, hold on, if I hadn't have died right then, I probably would have died anyway. So that's definitely a bottomless pit.
That's the bottomless pit.
Wow, so Sonic Mania has no chill in that level. It's just like from the very start, a Death Egg boss, and then you've got like limited time to do that.
And it's like it is different from like the other versions of the egg robo. Is that what it's called, or the
Egg robo's
robot
pretty
mech
close,
thing.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robot mech thing.
Yeah.
Like it's smaller. Like it attacks. It has different kinds of attacks, and so it's like it's not even like it's not even close to a carbon copy of either of those boss fights. Completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
To wrap things up, how did you guys feel about Sonic Mania altogether?
I'm feeling really positive on it. It's a gorgeous game. Like, it's like a lost game from the 32X or
Sega CD
or early Sega Saturn, where it's like Sega had this game, it was all ready to go. It was all like, no, we're going to do 3D Sonic. Sonic Extreme is the future. It's like that's the kind of game it feels like.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's the game that I guess I've always wanted since Sonic and Knuckles came out, and I never even knew I wanted it. Like the amount of times I've written opinion pieces on Sonic Stadium where I've said, oh, you know what, it would be good if a new Sonic game was done like this, a new Sonic game was done like that, and it never even occurred to me that what I really wanted was an actual 2D Sonic game that was a little bit Mega Man 9. It's like it completely harks back to the originals, but does its own thing, and it's really unique. I think it's a really, really strong contender for me for one of the best games that I'm definitely going to get on my Switch. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited about it.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. We all played it, I guess, on the Switch because they have it both for dock and handheld, and it looks beautiful on
And it
that.
plays great.
Yeah, and I feel the same that this is the kind of Sonic game I've been wanting for like a good decade or more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well,
This is what Sonic 4 should have been.
Yeah.
Like, I had fun with Sonic 4. This is what it should have been.
well, you know, maybe they'll throw in a few like standing on walls glitches and stuff just to throw us a
Okay.
bone. You know, a little bit of reminiscing in that way.
And one more thing, the music's really good.
Music is very
music's
good. Shout out to
beautiful.
T-Lopes for that because Mirage Saloon, brilliant music. Just had a completely kind of
Like,
Mexican yet retro
I'm gonna
vibe.
have this on my phone. Hope they sell it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do it on. You heard it first. You know, we want a CD soundtrack. Let's do it.
Really
Come on,
bad.
Sega, make it happen.
Let's do it. All right. Well, that about wraps up our impressions of Sonic Mania. So we're going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.